Ladies and gentlemen, the Vault of Glass. This raid was made 7 years ago from Destiny 1, and on May 22nd they brought it back. I actually tried to do it day 1, and it was extremely brutal, but I have compiled here a raid guide for anyone who wants to go in there for the first time, or even just wants to know about the Atheon Cheese. If you're here for that, just skip to the time on the screen. Let's get started with the first encounter. As you can see, there are 3 plates on the map where you spawn in. You should separate your fire team into 3 groups of 2, so you have 2 people defending each plate. One person should be standing on the plate until the white stuff at the edge of the plate rises all the way. Every once in a while, a Minotaur called a Praetorian will spawn. You have to kill the Praetorian because if it gets on the plate, it will take control over it. You can tell that the plate is taken over because it will glow red instead of white. Also, sometimes 3 Cyclopses will spawn next to the plates. Get rid of those. For this encounter, I recommend ad clearing supers and void weapons. You should use void weapons because the Praetorians have void shield. I use the 9 Hunger because it is a void auto rifle, and this season's auto rifles are anti-barrier weapons, which means you can kill hobgoblins when they are doing their immune thing. Once you have completed this encounter, you can pick up what is technically the first secret chest of the raid at the door of the vault. If you want the shards for Bitter Pearl, there are 12 of them, and 2 of them are in the first area. Watch the video to see where they are. Now on to the second secret chest and the next 3 shards. Watch the video to see where they are. After you have made your way to the Templar's well, you will have to do the second encounter. This one is very easy mechanics wise, you just have to be careful that you don't miss any enemies. There will be a conflux in the back where you jump down. You should split your fire team into 3 groups of 2 again, and one should go left, one should go right, and one should stay in the middle. Every once in a while, a wyvern will spawn and it will go towards the conflux. You have to kill it before it sacrifices itself or you will wipe. After the conflux has been protected for a long enough time, 2 confluxes will spawn to the left and right. Defend those and you will make it to the last phase of the encounter, where you will be defending all 3 Confluxes from the Wyverns and ads. After a certain time, the Confluxes will disappear and you will just have to clear ads until the encounter ends. One thing you should keep in mind, however, is that there is a Vex called a Fanatic. It looks like a glowing goblin with no head. When you kill that Fanatic, they will drop some Vex juice on the floor. If you step on the juice, you will receive a debuff called Marked for Negation. If you are still marked and the Templar does the Ritual of Negation, you will die. What you have to do to cleanse yourself and not die is to jump into a pool in the center of the room that will be glowing. Once you cleanse yourself, you will no longer die from the Ritual of Negation. Keep in mind also that this encounter will have you fight Overload Minotaurs, so maybe have some hand cannons or SMGs ready for that for this season. Now on to the third encounter. In this encounter, you will see small white glowing Vex cubes. These are called oracles. They will pop up and make a sound in a specific order, and your job is to kill the oracles in the order in which they show up. This starts with 3 oracles showing up in a specific order, and it goes all the way up to 7 oracles. So the oracles will show the pattern once, and then show it again, and then the oracles will all show up at once, and you have to kill them in that order. Right now I'm showing you a map of where the oracles spawn. What you might want to do is spread out your fire team to be able to see where they spawn, so that everybody has a clean line of sight at the oracles in the event that one spawns next to them. Your team should start counting once the oracles show up. So if you see an oracle and it's the first oracle to show up, you should say 1, and then you will be the one that has to kill it. If you see the second one, your callout is 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, so on and so forth. You might have to kill more than 1 oracle, so always stay alert. I recommend for killing oracles to equip the Xenophage Exotic Machine Gun because it kills the oracles in 1 shot. Remember, if you miss the order and you need to see it again, the oracles will show you the order twice before you actually have to start killing them. The entire time you are doing this, you will have to deal with ads. In particular, there are some hobgoblin snipers that spawn on some platforms floating around the room. You should keep this in mind when you are moving and try to stay in cover or kill them as soon as they come out. If your fire team is not able to clear the oracles in time, or you don't clear them in the right order, your entire team will be marked for negation. So everyone should immediately go to the center and count down for everyone to step into the cleansing pool at the same time. If you don't do it at once and you don't time this correctly, only a few people or maybe just 1 person will be cleansed and the rest will wipe. So you gotta make sure that everybody goes in at the same time, or you will have a bad time. After oracles, you will do the Templar. To begin the encounter, you will need to assign someone to be the relic holder. The relic is a shield that once picked up can't be dropped for longer than 10 seconds and is pivotal to the rest of the raid encounters from here on out. On PC, when you press the melee button, you will pop a bubble that will protect you from incoming damage. I don't know what the button is for controller, you'll have to kind of figure that out. Now once the relic is picked up, the Templar will spawn in the middle of the room and everybody should get back into oracle positions because they will be coming back. Except this time, try to get cover from the Templar, and at least this time you won't die to hobgoblins because they won't be spawning from the encounter. You might be worried about having to do, 4, 5, 6, or even 7 oracles. The thing is, there is only 3 oracles that will be spawning. So you'll just have to do oracles again, 3 oracles, and after you've killed the 3rd oracle, the damage phase kind of will begin. I mean, it won't immediately begin because there is something that you have to do before you begin the damage phase. That is, the relic holder needs to have his super ready. Once the super is ready, the relic holder will fire the super into the Templar. This will drop the Templar's shield, but you need to time this with your fire team to make sure that everybody is in a position where they will be able to safely do DPS on the Templar. So that means pick an area, put a bubble down, put a well of radiance, whatever you have to do. Just make sure that the team is ready to do DPS immediately after Oracle so that the super can fire and you will be able to get the most out of your DPS phase. After the shield goes down and you have done enough DPS damage, the Templar will attempt to teleport. You can actually extend the duration of the DPS phase by having someone, preferably the relic holder, find where the Templar is attempting to teleport, which will look like a red circle with a white line coming out of it, and the relic holder should stand on it to block the teleport. When you cancel the teleport, one person in the fire team will be locked in a bubble. That bubble can be destroyed by being shot at, and the reason why you need to shoot at it immediately is because if the person stays in the bubble for too long, they will die. And also, they won't be able to do DPS if they're caught in the bubble. Now, every time you cancel a teleport, not only will somebody be caught in a bubble, but also Minotaurs will be spawned in by the Templar. So, you kind of have to balance whether or not you want to extend the damage phase by blocking teleports, or whether you want to play it safe and only do one teleport or maybe none at all, and just make sure that you don't get that many ads when you have to go and do oracles again in between your DPS phases. After you've finally killed the Templar, you'll be able to go into the next area. Watch the video right now to see a secret entrance to the Gorgon Maze, and don't forget to check for the 2 shards in this secret entrance. Once you've made it down to the Gorgon Maze, there are 3 Vex cube things that you have to destroy in order to open the door to the secret chest. After you've done that, there will be 2 shards you need to collect, one on the way to the chest room and one on the way to the maze exit. After collecting those, make your way to the exit as seen in the video and go to where the floating, disappearing platforms are. Look at the video to see where the last 3 shards are located and the final chest. Now you've made it to Gatekeepers. Gatekeepers is like a mix of Confluxes with a relic and teleporting portal. When you enter the Gatekeeper room, there will be a Gatekeeper in the middle surrounded by ads. You will kill the Gatekeeper and the ads, and the Gatekeeper will drop a relic. Someone has to pick it up. Remember the 10-second rule with the relic. You can't have it on the ground without anyone holding it for longer than 10 seconds or the entire fire team will wipe. Then split your team into 2 teams of 3. One team goes to the left plate, which opens the left portal, and one goes to the right plate, which opens the right portal. When the portals are open, one person from each team that does not have the relic will go into their respective portals. When you go into the left portal, the portal will look like Mars. So whenever someone says Mars in this encounter, remember that's left. If someone goes into the portal on the right, they will see that it looks like Venus. So when someone says Venus, remember that's the portal on the right. If you are staying on the plate, some important things to mention is that every few seconds 3 goblins will spawn to attack you, along with an overload minotaur. After every few seconds, another gatekeeper will spawn and you have to kill those gatekeepers as fast as possible, because they will not let you teleport through the portals when they are alive. Now when you're in the portals, there will be a conflux in each portal room. Your job is to defend the conflux from wyverns that will spawn in. After you kill the wyverns, a minotaur with a great shield will spawn in. This means that only the relic holder can break that shield. Preferably the relic holder will kill that minotaur. When the first minotaur spawns in, the person defending the conflux has to call out which room is the one with the first minotaur. So if there is a minotaur in the right portal, then the call out is Venus first. The relic holder will then go into the Venus portal, kill the minotaur, and give the relic to the person defending Venus. Then the ex-relic holder will be the one to stick around to defend Venus from the wyverns. Then the person that picks up the relic in Venus will leave the portal and go to the Mars plate and tell someone defending that plate to take the relic and go into the Mars portal. Now, the person that dropped the relic will stay at the Mars gate and defend it from the Minotaurs and the 3 goblins. The person that goes into the Mars portal will kill the Minotaur and drop the relic for the other person to go, and then that person will be the one to defend Mars. The person that picked up the relic will then go to the Venus gate and drop it for somebody in the Venus gate to pick it up and then go in. The reason why we do it like this is because for about 40 seconds the relic holder cannot teleport after having teleported already once. So it's basically a relay race, passing the relic like a baton to people from both Mars side to Venus side until they are both defended from all of the wyverns and minotaurs. Eventually, you will have defended both confluxes on Mars and Venus and they will disappear. This means everybody has to immediately leave those portals and go to the middle of the original room to destroy more Great Shield minotaurs and wyverns from a conflux that will show up in the main room after the 2 in the Mars and Venus portals disappear. After this, it's Atheon time. Atheon starts after you shoot a thing in the middle of the map. It's one of those Vex cube things. I don't know what to call them. When you do, there will be a ton of harpies that will be spawning from the top left and top right, and they will be coming out of the back of the room. Kill all of the ones that spawn in the middle, but leave one alive in the top left and top right. The reason why you do this is so that more don't spawn. After a few seconds of ad clear, Atheon will open the time streams and teleport 3 random people to either Mars or Venus. When you get teleported, someone has to pick up the relic immediately as it'll spawn along with you. The reason why is because if you are in the portal room, you will have a debuff called Mark of the Void or something like that. This means that after a few seconds you will go blind and you won't be able to see anything. The only way to stop this is by using the relic bubble to cleanse your fire team. After picking up the relic, go to the very back of the room and you will realize that Mars and Venus are literally just different looking versions of the exact same room where Atheon is. The team that stayed behind will give you callouts of what oracles to kill in what order. You will kill these oracles and you will do it 3 times. The entire time, make sure you don't die to ads and make sure that the relic holder cleanses you so you don't go blind. After you've killed the 9th oracle, immediately go into one of the portals that are open and go do DPS on the boss. From the moment you kill the 9th oracle, you only have 30 seconds to do damage, so your team has to be very coordinated and focused. Pop bubble, pop well, pop nighthawk, use snipers, just do anything that does a lot of damage. After you've done the damage phase will be over in about 30 seconds after popping the 9th oracle, and you will have to start again. Now for the people that got left behind, you will have to immediately ask what place the other team got teleported to so that you can open that portal for them. While you are opening that portal, be very careful of these exploding harpies called supplicants that will spawn. Stay away from them and throw grenades to take care of them. As someone opens that portal, one person will have to look at Atheon from the back of the room and see in what order the oracles spawn in, so that you can tell the teleported people which ones to shoot in what order. Here is a map of where the oracles spawn, and you can use callouts like close left or close right or far left, far right, or far or close middle. As soon as the last oracle is destroyed, the DPS phase starts. So if you're a warlock who got left behind, it might be good to pop a well immediately in the DPS area, and maybe having another warlock with Geomax stabilizers and chaos reach might be good for DPS. After you've done this maybe 3 or 4 times, Atheon should be dead and you'll be done with the raid. Now there is a cheese for this encounter. I don't personally like to cheese encounters because it just seems cheap to me. I feel like it's better to actually do it the right way. It feels more satisfying when you defeat Atheon correctly. But for anyone that just wants to know what the exploit is, here it is. Now you can't just load into the Atheon checkpoint to do the cheese on Atheon. You actually have to start from Gatekeepers. Once you've finished the Confluxes in Mars and Venus, everyone has to go to the Venus portal for just a few seconds and then leave to go do the final Conflux. After leaving the Venus portal, try to jump as much as possible. Do not touch the ground for too long or this won't work. Finish the encounter and go to the raid banner for ammo. After doing so, jump off the ledge over and over again. Destiny will think that you are caught in a bad checkpoint and it will spawn you to the last place where you were able to stand still without immediately dying. Hopefully this place was Venus, as I told you to go into before. When you are in Venus, make sure that there is at least one person back in the normal room, and then you will notice that Atheon is just standing there in Venus. You can kill him here by doing DPS, and as long as you have 2 or 3 people, you'll probably be fine. By the time that you kill him, jump off the ledge as many times as it takes until you spawn back in the normal room. After you've spawned back in the normal room, shoot the Vex Cube thingy and the encounter will start with Atheon already dead. So that's a cheese. Okay, so that was my full raid guide. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, leave a like and subscribe, or whatever you want to do. If this video really sucked, then leave a dislike and tell me why it sucked in the comment section down below. If you want to catch me streaming on Twitch, follow me on Twitch. I think I'll leave it in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching.